Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here. Today, we're going to be talking about why you're stuck in Divine. In this video, we're going to be talking about 3 things Los Perros Romanticos does poorly, and 3 things that I actually like that he does. This player, this is a Divine 2 player. I picked him randomly from a game, and specifically, I watched his game. I actually think overall he played very well, and I think his performance is above average for his bracket. However, I still want to nitpick on a couple of very important things, including warding, positioning, and pressure, and some things that I like to highlight what he did well. So let's get into it.
On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there.
Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss is warding. I really don't like his warding. In fact, I think it is the biggest weak point of his gameplay by far. So let's go over a couple of examples, and honestly, it's on both sides of the enemy team, so I have to just assume that most Divine players are just bad at warding. It's minute 530, and he makes a pretty nice determination that the Ancient Apparition on the enemy team is stacking the large camp in the triangle. This immediately would scream Divine or even a Mortal Plus to just have the awareness to make a play like this, right? Which is cool. And what he does is also good. From the low ground, you block the camp with a sentry. But then right after that, he makes the very psychotic play to put an obs right next to it. Now, if the enemy farms the camp and sees that it is blocked, they're going to put down a sentry and get a free D-ward. So I would not place this obs. If I was to place an obs, well, frankly, I just wouldn't if I'm blocking these camps. I would maybe place an obs here to scout if the AA is going to stacking or if Tide's going into the triangle, but I wouldn't place it right next to the sentry. So also on this topic of warding, he buys another set of obs, and this ward is just kind of weird, right? It's not completely terrible if like the enemy is going to invade your wisdom rune and you want to fight them, but that's not going to happen. And so it's just kind of a random ward. In this case, where I would rather place it is just kind of wait for this wave to be pushed, and then maybe go place it like in the jungle here. This ward sometimes gets dewarded, but generally not. And so I would go place it like here, or try to get a lane ward here. Placing it on this hill when you still have your tier 1 alive is just, it's just not a great idea. It's really not. And then kind of from there, he places sort of another defensive ward here. And this one is particularly insane. In order to scout the hill to deward it, he wards the hill. Now, this is a habit I had when I first started playing sub, so I get it. You don't want to move the courier, you're kind of lazy, you don't have the habit, whatever it is. But this is just terrible because now any competent support player knows your ward is here. Any good core player will also know. And so you just can't do that. Plus, this vision is, okay, this ward I don't hate if you have stacks and the enemy is going to invade them. Then it is fine. Other than that, it's just kind of defensive. Again, these wards are just too defensive. I would maybe, I mean, this ward might get dewarded, but maybe place it here, or I'll just hold my ward. Maybe I'll even place a ward like here, right? I lost my mid tower. They'll try to invade our jungle. I'll place it like in this area, you know, around here. And kind of on the same note, I don't know, I just thought this was funny. He just did it again. And then if you skip ahead another minute and he respawns, he does it again. Like, what the fuck? Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so this next move is actually really important to me. This is point 2 of what I don't like. It's responding late to pressure. So in general, I think there's 2 reasons why this happens. Number 1, people just think it's the right play, like punish dives. However, I think there's also a mental aspect where his mid pango dies. He was kind of slow on the map, maybe could have set up the play before the enemy team did. Whatever the reason is, like this Ember is kind of cooking. If you click on him, he has a regen rune running, so like there's no way you're fighting this guy. However, now the best play right here is to stay safe and sap your level 6. Hide. I would literally try not to show at all, like my Pango's dead. We cannot fight this guy, he's level 10. But I think what's partially happening is like they're thinking this guy's kind of extended, but it's a level 10 Ember, you can't fight him. Also, you might be worried that like your teammates might flame you because, well, you didn't help them. Maybe the Pango's tilted, he's saying they're diving me, and you run to help. The reality is, don't get baited into this crap, right? Unless the enemy is literally like 100, 200 HP, you're not doing anything to them as 2 subs, right? This is Nature's Prophet support next to him. You're just not pressuring some Ember. And also, you know, could have checked the Ember to see that he had a regen running, or you could just kind of pay a bit more attention. I mean, whichever it is, it's pretty important. And finally, to go back a bit, this is where he was actually completely destroying the game. He was having a really good lane. I mean, look at the disparity between this Tide Hunter and this Ursa. There's a 1k gap at minute 4. I mean, it is definitely a strong lane that they have here. Ursa Shaman against a Tide AA is very favorable, but for a while, I liked what he was doing. He was, you know, making opportunities, rapping on them, but there's a few that he missed that I'd like to cover, right? Where he could have just put a little bit more pressure, because the reality is, guys, if you win your lane, you can usually keep winning your lane. Most of the time, if you win your lane, just stay in your lane and keep destroying it, right? If you have kill heroes. Ursa against Tide, sure most of you guys know, this is a good matchup for Ursa. Ursa kills Tide Hunter. As a result, it's good to just stay there. You can just keep setting up on this Tide Hunter, right? Keep shackling him. It's probably not going to get dispelled immediately, and it's going to let the Ursa close the gap. And so, yeah, right here, this is a missed opportunity in my opinion. I mean, it's a little weird. Ursa's a little bit low. But again, you just have some very severe item advantage. This Ursa is just way ahead in gold. He's got his boots coming. And so I would have liked to see them kind of just continue to force moves. This Titan's AA don't have any stick charges. You're probably stronger. And so they could have just ran into them there, right? Honestly, you could just force the issue. After that, this is kind of the next thing I don't love. He decides to stack at 450 this camp into the bounty. Now, it's a very high tier play. It's good awareness of 2 objectives, a stack and a bounty. It's not a bad play, but again, in my eyes, if you have the ability to just kill your lane, just kill your lane. Like, just kill your lane. It's even if you never find a kill, you'll zone the Tide out of XP range, you'll keep him low, he'll never get any CS, he'll never be able to pull aggro, right? And on top of that, when you leave like this, it also, if the AA was, here he maybe would unblock this camp and it would spawn, and that would also give them a window to play this unplayable lane. And so yeah, I would kind of just like to see him be here forcing the issue. Even here, he's kind of sitting in the trees like this, a little bit of synergy. The Tide is just gonna take 1 billion health. Like, you can just walk in here a bit earlier. Instead, he's kind of running to his courier. Now he's got this ward. Now, like, he just decides to unblock the small. It's like, you don't need to unblock the small here. It's just not the priority when you can get a kill. Like, all I would do is place my obs in the lane and just set up on this Tide. It's just an overcomplication. And a lot of the time, he is setting up kills. If you watch the entire game, he's setting up kills. I just don't know why he stopped. And so it's a point for all you support players. If you stomp the lane, keep stomping the lane. Keep looking for these opportunities. This is the clip, right, where I showed this. This should be familiar. Why? Why now? It's just not the priority. Just this Tide is gonna sit in the lane. He has to. He has to try. Make sure he can. Okay, but on that note, even though I just criticized him for not looking for enough kills, now let's talk about what I like that he did. And I like that he's really making moves. Now, I don't think that all of his smoke usages are overly efficient. Some of them are a little forced, like this one is kind of weird, right? There's like an Ursa with Battle Fury, and he pops a smoke from base and is like chasing his carry around to smoke him. It ends up being like some okay play, but like the end of it is actually really nice. They bump into an Ember. It's like a little weird, but honestly, it's like the right idea. You know what I mean? This is kind of what I mean. I mean, you're playing Shaman. These are the moves you want to make. Ursa's his kill hero, making a move, right? Beautiful. A lot of people, they're just not clicking smokes. They're not playing with their teammates. Like, one of my main critiques for most of my support coaching students is just like, make moves. Like, if you have ult or you have strong heroes and you're a strong hero, which Shaman is okay. I mean, you're a kill hero, so you need to look for people that are alone. You don't want to take team fights, but he's doing that. And here, he's doing that, right? He's just hunting. It's nice, right? Finds the Weaver, shackle, they get a kill. Good positioning, good angle, good execution. I mean, hexing a Weaver is technically pointless, so maybe that was bad execution, but in general, his hunting this game was really nice. The warding, it's just, ugh, God. The next thing that I like is that at the exact same time frame, it was kind of at the same point in this Weaver kill, but I just wanted to point out that he's trying to do it all. And to me, this is a really good sign of someone who is going to get better, right? He's trying to do it all. Now, it can be very distracting, overwhelming to try to buy the wards, buy dust, buy an item, keep good vision down. It's a lot. I actually think playing sup, a good support, is harder than playing most carries. I really believe that, because you gotta manage a lot of small items that are crucial, mainly smokes and wards and sentries, right? And so he's doing it all. He's dusting this Weaver, well executed. He's got the smokes. He's got his wards shipping out. His pause 4 ain't doing shit for him. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. He's really doing it all. Like, yeah, the warding is not good. I'll keep it a stack. But he's trying. It's giving info. It didn't get instantly dewarded here. It's giving good info. You know, it will probably get dewarded. That ward generally gets dewarded, but I mean, it's not here. I mean, hey, it's staying up. This ward is staying up, and Okay, this smoke was sus, but we're not going to talk about it. Either way, let's get into the final point. Okay, and the last thing I'd like to praise is pretty straightforward, but it's general spellcasting. I think his willingness to frontline on this hero, kind of just get in and start the fight, is generally the right approach until you have Aether Lens. When you have Aether Lens, it's a lot easier on Shadow Shaman to stay on the outside of the fight, but here, he's making a good move right away, right? He put down a high ground ward, play the high ground ward. I've said this in a billion videos, if you watch my videos, in the mid to late game, if you have wards, play the wards. He's doing that here, sets up a nice shackle onto the Weaver, they get a kill. From there, he kites out a bit, it's good, he's killing off this Weaver bug, which you just have to deal with. And I like what he does next. This is not the best placed wards, I will admit. He maybe could have tried to trap the Slark with them, which could be annoying for Slark if he doesn't have pounce. Plus, they kind of get in the way a little bit here. As this is pretty funny. Pango, Pango swashes into the middle. But either way, a lot of shamans, when I watch them at a bit lower ranks, they just hold their wards for too long. If you have a decent opportunity to get them down, you know, trap anyone, just do a little bit of damage, just get them out. They're really not a long cooldown, frankly. It's a reasonably low cooldown ult that I think, what, 120? 110, I forgot. 110, it's pretty low cooldown. Just get them out, get the kill, help win the fight, gets a shackle onto the Ember. So just overall good positioning. I mean, at the end, he could be a little further away here, but good positioning, playing his wards, being willing to use his ult. Like, these are little things that really do add up. I wish he had a magic wand, but these are things that really do add up in the game, in team fights. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.